I get it. ICP as of right now, it's below $5 in terms of price, and it's not necessarily looking the best. However, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, there's still something that I find pretty fascinating nonetheless, fundamentally. In the price scenario, I'm going to talk about that later, but when it comes to the fundamentals, I think what I'm seeing as of right here, I can't really deny that it's not fascinating for me, even despite what's going on with the price. Let me explain why. If we take a look at it, not too long ago, ChainSpec, they made a post on X, right, talking about how when it comes to November 9th, so it's not even that long ago at this point, but again, November 9th, there was a new 30-day high in daily transaction volume when it comes to the internet computer at over 100 million transactions. So if we take a look at that right there, on November 9th, the internet computer hit over 100 million transactions, its highest throughput in 30 days. So could you imagine that? Even without an altcoin season, and it does that. Does this really mean much in the grand scheme of things? I mean, in terms of price, not really, because it's not really doing much right now, but I'm saying altcoins as of right now are generally speaking having a pullback, but I think fundamentally, I still find this pretty fascinating because no one would have really thought that this would hypothetically be the case, especially during a time when it's had a big pullback. Like even if ICP was sitting at like $10 or something like that, it still had a pretty big pullback. So seeing a statistic like this, regardless whether it's like at $3, $4, $10, it's still very impressive considering how, again, ICP's had a pretty big pullback. Not too long ago, it was above $18. But even besides that as well, I find this pretty fascinating considering how I think the internet computer might be something that has kind of been something that's not really forgotten about because how would there be over 100 million transactions in that statistic I mentioned before? But even besides all that, I get it. When it comes to ICP being below $5, $100, it's slightly over 20x from here at this point. It's quite a ways away, and my perception is this though. When I take a look at, for instance, something like ICP not doing the best, because a lot of people like to tell me about this, which of course I clearly know because I'm taking a look at the price chart, but I'm saying they keep reminding me of this, right? But my response is this, the way I take a look at it, because if let's say, I'm just going to use an analogy, like let's say this t-shirt I have right here, no matter what I do with it, the value is just going to go down. Like my point of view is this, like let's say I bought this for $20, right? The moment I use it, the moment I took it out of the store, if I don't return it or something like that, like again, the value is just only going down. There's no way this could hypothetically increase in that sense, right? Unless maybe I become some celebrity or something like that, or a rock star, then maybe who knows about the value. But assuming that isn't hypothetically the case, what's going to happen? This t-shirt is just depreciating at that point, right? It's just something that I'm using, sure, but in terms of value, it is depreciating. However, when it comes to a project, sure, ICP's below $5, or even just any other project we're seeing as of right now, generally speaking, a lot are having a pullback, right? But is that a foregone conclusion? Are they going to be that low forever? In some cases, who knows? Because when it comes to this t-shirt, it's already a foregone conclusion. It's pretty much just going to go down in terms of hypothetical value. But when it comes to a project, sure, things could maybe be low, but who knows if there's an altcoin season, what it could be, right? There's no chance for my t-shirt to experience an altcoin season or a t-shirt season where it just randomly, went down in value because I used it and suddenly hypothetically did something. There's no way, right? But when it comes to project, it's a little bit of a different case. Some of my friends out there, they treat like projects like a vehicle or something like that, where let's say they buy a car and then the value just goes down and something. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Some of my friends think about it that way. But even though in the short term, sometimes there is that sort of feeling, like the thing is, as long as I haven't exited out of my, project that hypothetically I believe in, this holding could maybe change during an altcoin season, right? It's not like, again, a foregone hypothetical conclusion where my t-shirt, I'm never going to get that $20 back, So yeah, that's kind of the analogy that I'm using. I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but this is just my perception when it comes to this. However, my point of view is this as well when it comes to Dfinity. Have they given up? I don't think so. Have they kind of stopped doing things? No, I don't think so either. Now, would it really mean much? I guess, as of right now, not really, because clearly the price isn't doing the best, but during an altcoin season, sometimes people take a look back at stuff like this, like what the project is doing, how it's not kind of being given up on, I would say. But when it comes to the internet computer, I haven't seen those signs. Now, if let's say for whatever reason, in a make-believe scenario, Dfinity just gives up, they don't believe in their internet computer anymore, they say, okay, we're not going to be doing things, we're not really going to care about caffeine AI, and then that's a telltale sign for me to not be a fan anymore. Really, I mean, at that point, I just wouldn't even believe in the internet computer. That's the way to take a look at it. But if I haven't seen that, yeah, I just don't want to give up. That's my point of view. That's like a scenario in which I would not believe in it. But as long as that isn't the case, then no, I would not give up on it. That's the way I view it. Now, again, this is just what I'm doing, but I'm saying this is my perception. So when it comes to the internet computer, I get it. Sometimes you like to say, oh, take a look at the price chart. When it comes to ICP, the market cap at one point not too long ago was below 2 billion. Now, sure, it's around that $2.5 billion range, but they say, oh wow, take a look at the pullback. But really, the last time I saw ICP dip below $2 billion in terms of market cap was back in 2023. You know what I mean? That's like around 2 years ago. Now, granted, it's had a pretty okay rally from 2023, and it did pretty okay in 2024, relatively speaking, compared to 2023. Then, of course, there's this pullback as of right now. I'm totally aware of that, but sometimes what I take a look at was that 2024 kind of movement that it did, was that during an altcoin season? I just don't think so, in my perspective. I just don't think I've seen an altcoin season during this cycle. Even without an altcoin season, I saw ICP go to a market cap of nearly 9 billion at one point. That was again back in 2024. But yeah, that's just my point of view. And my point of view is also that, sure, when it comes to this space overall, people like to say, oh, wow, take a look at how when it comes to the amount of holders, when it comes to their computer and all this, but still, it's not looking that bad, I think, in terms of the amount of holders. And also on top of that, my point of view is also this, though. When it comes to, if we take a look at it again, ICP back in 2024, when the market cap was, again, over 8 billion, 1 point, nearly 9 billion, what fundamentally was there at that time that seems so special that it kind of is overshadowing what we're seeing as of right now? Like what? I just don't know, because I actually think that the fundamentals currently, even despite not too long ago seeing the market cap dip below 2 billion, I feel like actually the fundamentals of the internet computer at that time is arguably better than back then, which may seem a little bit counterintuitive, but actually within this space, that is sometimes the case, right? Like for instance, we take a look at many projects out there that launch something pretty interesting. Like I'm just going to use Polkadot as an example. Let's take a look at Polkadot 2.0, right? Polkadot 2.0 on paper should seem like a pretty impressive thing, but because the announcement wasn't really at a time when the market was doing the best, take a look at the price of DOT, which is Polkadot's native token. Is it doing good? Absolutely not. Much like ICP, in my perspective. But I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things, right? So when it comes to people saying, oh, caffeine AI, you know what Dfinity did with that? Oh, it's a flop. Well, is Polkadot 2.0 a flop? You know what I mean? Is Onyx, a different project, launching the testnet of their layer 1 blockchain, is that a flop? They're achieving something. Now, the price is a different case, but what do I see in common with those three examples? Despite them doing something pretty massive, the price still isn't doing the best. So it's not only just ICP in that scenario where they had something pretty amazing happen fundamentally, but then the price wasn't doing the best. We see that in multiple instances. Again, Onyx, we take a look at Polkadot. Also, of course, again, we're talking about the internet computer as of right now. And also there's a bunch of examples, but I'm just going to use that for now. But I'm saying, it's not only just this. So if I am in that realization, my kind of perception is that I don't want to give up. Now, clearly, no one is telling me to do this, right? Like, I could just easily not believe in the internet computer anymore, and that's it. But I haven't done that because I just don't think I've seen an altcoin season. Now, again, this is just what I'm doing personally. Like, no one is telling me to do this. No one is, instructing me to do this or do that. Personally, I'm just doing this on my own because personally, I can only control myself. I mean, I can't control anything else. Like, I can't control the market. I can't control what happens to ICP. The only thing I can do is stay patient, which is what I'm going to do. Now, some people may not think, what I'm doing is something they would maybe do, and that is entirely their choice. Like, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, right? But personally, I am just waiting, I'm staying patient, and that's about it, because I'm also still thinking about Dfinity. So yeah, nonetheless, despite the price as of right now, there's still something that I find pretty fascinating fundamentally, so I just wanted to make a video on that and just explain that, and just talk about why, even despite the price not doing the best as of right now, I'm still at least looking forward to something in terms of the fundamentals, but who knows what it's going to do. I'm just going to stay patient and wait. And I want to say thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all have a nice day. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.